What's happening? Andy here. I'm joined today by Larry White, President and CEO of Toshiba America. How you doing today, Larry?
I'm doing great, thanks. Andy, how about yourself?
I'm awesome. It is great to see you. It's getting a little dark here, still nice and light for you out west, and I'm guessing California today.
Yeah, well, we pay the extra 13.4% in taxes so we can have a little extra light.
You get a lot of extra light for that money, it looks like. So, well, it's great to see you. I haven't caught up with you in a little bit. Wanted to just check in and see what's happening with our one of our favorite West Coast companies, Toshiba. You've been busy lately. I know I just saw some dealers at a couple shows that I was at, and they had just come back from a nice charity event up in was it South Dakota. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing with yourself?
Yeah, it was a blast. So we took a number of dealers up to South Dakota to our toner plant, by the way, and we've had a number of them tour the toner plant. They've never seen it before and very impressed with that. But we take them out there for 3 days for a pheasant hunt, and it's all in good stead to raise money for a very good charity. It's for the VFW of South Dakota and youth sports in South Dakota. So while we're there, we had a little bit of fun, shot at a few birds. We missed more than we hit, but that's always that's an okay thing to do.
I think the
But
birds would be okay with that.
yeah, in it's for all the tree huggers out there. We're being very socially conscious on that, so we miss as much as we possibly can. But we did a great job. We raised $40,000 in a one night activity for the VFW and youth sports in South Dakota. So it was a great thing. So we had a lot of fun with our dealers and raised money for a good cause at the same time.
So that's kind of cool. So you raised money, obviously charity and all that, but the real point of it was that toner factory, which I was hoping to get to see this year, and I had a bit of a conflict another time. But that's one of the things I think is kind of cool about you guys. You have, you're a global company, obviously, but there's manufacturing right here in the United States, right? And so your toner factory, that's toner that goes into your products. Which products does that go into?
Basically, all of them. Yeah, it's the only thing we don't manufacture here is cyan toner. Other than that, that's it. So it's
Very
I
cool.
don't know why we must not like cyan toner here, but
In the middle of
yeah.
some beautiful, beautiful country up there. So that must have just been an incredible few days. Um, let's just jump right into it. It's been a tough year, a tough 18 months, right? Toshiba has not been spared just like everybody else. Supply chain has been an issue. Can you give us a bit of just an update on what's happening with supply chain and where's Toshiba right now with all your, coming and going? And do you have product? Are you waiting on product? What do you see coming for the next year or so?
So let me kind of give you the Cliff Notes version of this because we could talk for 30 minutes alone on supply chain and supply chain
Fair
issues.
enough.
Well, we'll keep it short and simple. The first thing is you mentioned the toner factory. The one nice thing about having our toner manufactured here in the United States is that we didn't have any toner issues whatsoever, and don't plan on having any toner issues at all, which is a great benefit when you manufacture that toner right here in the United States, which is great. So on the aftermarket side, we have been absolutely pristine on the supply chain issues, no back orders or anything else, which is great for clients out there that that you have that you're servicing right now and you want to upgrade, obviously. The on the other side of it is the hardware. If we take a look at the history of it, for a majority of the time we've had supply chain issues. When I say the industry's had supply chain issues. I would say, I would rate our ability to deliver as above average compared to the rest of the industry. In all candor, we had a little bit of a problem the very end of spring, first couple months of summer. And if you remember back, that's when we had the COVID lockdown in China.
Yeah.
Our factory was locked down for a week. Unfortunately, a number of our component sub suppliers were locked down for 5 to 6 weeks. So that really, that set us back. We are back to actually greater than normal production in our production facilities, both in China and Southeast Asia, which is great. In fact, this month they manufactured about 2.5 times what our average peak manufacturing capability was prior to COVID. So that's a great thing. We are also this month spending $1.7 million flying product in. I know it is.
But that number is coming down though, right? That number was higher.
It was higher. And the reason it's come down is because, again, the supply chain is slowly fixing itself. So if you remember a few months back, it was taking about 72 days to get product from China to the United States. Today, we're averaging about 45 days. So that whole timeline is compressing. So that's making things much better overall. So if I'm going to grade myself over the last 90 days, we've done a really good job of taking our back orders down extensively. We're still not in great shape, by the way, and I don't think, or nor is anybody in this industry in great shape at the present time. But we have dramatically lowered our back orders to both our dealer customers and to our end user customers at the same time. So things are looking optimistic. I will give you a couple of caveats to look at in the future. One is if China goes back into another COVID lockdown, we've diversified our manufacturing facilities quite a bit away from China into other areas, but China is still the main place to manufacture product
For everybody.
Yeah. So, keep an eye on that. They just locked down Beijing, one of the largest cities in the world, because of 657 COVID cases. So if they go crazy and do something like that again, it could affect things. And the second one is it's kind of underreported, is if the rail workers union doesn't ratify their contract. That could be something else that you want to pay attention to, because if that happens, it's going to be tough getting product from the ports to warehouses to the dealers to end users, because everything's going to compress again. So it could create some issues. But being an optimist,
actually have we have an article on our site from today. Mars sponsors a business update, and we have an article on that topic right here. It's a U.S. supply chain could suffer as unions and railroads clash. That's the next thing. We just can't get through this completely without something else blowing up in front of us.
We need a break. We deserve a break.
We could use a break.
Country deserves a break as far as supply chain goes. But I think overall we've done a really good job. In fact, our supply chain department was actually was a focus piece on Fox Business News 2 months ago on how we're handling supply chain issues and things of that nature. So, overall, as I rate ourselves, I think we're doing much better, and I think again we're above average in being able to get product to people, which is good news.
Well, that is good news. There's been a whole variety on how I think the dealers would rate their OEMs. Yours is not one of the ones I've really heard a lot of complaints about. Some I've heard worse. And some of it really just has to do with product categories as well. Some products are just more available, and some are harder to get. The A4s are tough to get. Just they're a lower cost point than the A3s, is my guess. So A3 is going to bring in more money. Who's going to get the chip when you only have a certain number to allocate? So it's been an issue that all the companies have in our world have dealt with, but that hasn't slowed you down at all. You guys are you're not just selling products that you have in the warehouse, or you're moving forward. And we were talking earlier, you've got a busy season coming up, right? So why don't you talk to us about tell us about the launches you've got coming up.
So we are refreshing our entire basically A3 product line from 25 pages per minute up to 90 pages per minute. We're right basically in the middle of that. We just launched the new mid-range black and white and color products, which is great and getting really good reviews. And the product is performing better than our expectations, which is always nice. We'll finish out the rest of the product rollout probably in the spring of next year. So by March, April timeframe, they'll have an entire new product out there for our customers, which is nice. You're at the point where post-pandemic, you have a lot of customers wanting to upgrade, and it's always nice to have a brand new product line up that they can upgrade them to.
Well, to your point, they waited, right, for a long time, and a lot of companies just went month to month when their leases expired for a variety of reasons. One is, I think people just weren't sure on how many of their people were coming back, and do we still, do we really want to reevaluate? Do we just want to lock in another 3 years? So I think a lot of companies just waited, and now the machines are 6 months older or 12 months older, and they're getting tired, right? And people are ready for that upgrade. Now, yours, are these new machines, do they still have that same look, that same black kind of shiny Darth Vader?
Yeah, piano black.
They're cool looking. They're I know they're just copiers. Maybe I get a little too excited. Just it's because of what I do. But I always thought yours that black, and you're not the only one who has black, but you guys really made those look kind of sexy. Like, I don't know if a copier could be sexy, but if they are, yours are. And so the whole line has that look still. Yes.
Yeah, it really does. And by the way, to your point, that was a deliberate decision when we decided to go in that direction. The cost isn't that much more to manufacture with a
You're gonna
really
put
good look
covers
to
on
it.
it. You're gonna put covers on it. So what's the difference if it's black and shiny and cool looking, or boring and gray the way it's been the last 40 years? I mean, you
It,
know,
exactly right. And remember, buying is still an emotional decision. And if something is good looking and
I
the
want something
way
nice
it
in my
looks,
office, right? You want you if you're gonna spend the money making your office look good, you want, you know, and especially certain types of offices are more prone to this than others, right? If you've got guests coming in, if you've got people visiting you, and you have this high tech vibe, you're trying to, you know, showcase and put forth, then you want your technology to look advanced. You want shiny and big giant bright screens, and you know, I mean, it just seems like a no brainer to me.
yeah, you're exactly right. Exactly right.
So in this 25 to 90, these are all A3. Do you know how many products? I forget if you said already.
Oh, good Lord.
A
That's a
lot.
trick question. Yeah, it's a lot.
It's
It's
a
a
lot.
lot.
Well, you said the whole
It's
product line, so it's got to be quite a decent number. So you're going to retire the old product line. You're going to bring out the new one, and this will be showed well over the next few months. You said, and then I guess the first time we'll see them, you're going to have a dealer meeting next year.
Yes, we are. Yeah,
Yes.
we're very excited to announce that we signed the paperwork with Bellagio in Las Vegas. So great venue, great hotel. It's the week of September 11th. So you need to make sure that you put it on your calendar. You can't miss that.
I
You
would
miss that.
definitely. It's on my calendar as we speak. You know, how could I possibly miss another trip to Las Vegas? But that is one of the nicer hotels. I'm glad you guys are doing it there. You guys always do it at a really nice venue. So, and is it going to be called Lead? Are you still using the Lead name for the conference?
We are going to change it up a little bit. So I'm not gonna
Okay, we'll
spill the beans
save the
right now on
thunder.
that. Yeah.
I don't want to steal your thunder from Rick and the team. I want to make sure you guys have your every chance, but I'm glad you guys announced, that you're having it, and I'm excited. It's been, gosh, it's been by then it'll be 3 years, right?
More than that, 4 years.
4 years, man.
Can you believe that? I mean, it
No,
is
no. I
buzzing
just,
through and
time kind of stood still. We lost that one year, which seemed like forever. I don't know. We just lost that year, and it just, it sped everything up, I guess.
yeah, it was crazy. It's nuts. But it's by the way, it's gonna be great to have everybody back together in a full venue event. Yeah, we're gonna
Old school.
yes, it is. And there's nothing wrong with old school.
Very nice. There's nothing wrong with old school. I'm looking forward to it. You guys throw one of the best parties in the industry for sure. And then when we're at that event, I'm sure we'll see something. You guys, I talked to a couple of your people, Kirsten and Megan, a few months ago. You were just launching a global print program. Is that going to be shown there? How's that going? That's got a couple months behind it now. And where are you with all that?
So there are two products I'm very proud of our team for, and they're both internally developed here at Tabs. The first one is Global Print, which is the print management software that Kirsten and Megan talked to you about. We are about 4 months into it right now, and we are more than exceeding our business plan, which is good news because it's a little bit of a risk when you put your neck on the block saying this is going to be a great product. We're spending all that money to develop it, and we're doing it here. It's nice to be beating that business plan, so it's performing better than expectations.
That's always good to tell the bosses back in Japan.
Yeah, that was they didn't think we could do it, but the team here did an amazing job developing that software and
Well, you've got a whole software development center out there, if I remember correctly, right?
Document Solutions Engineering Lab. Yeah, they've got the really smart people.
So 4 months in, you're ahead of plan. And then you mentioned two things. So the second one, I know you had we were going to talk about a label printing device. Is that the device that you were alluding to?
Yeah, it's another internally developed product. It's a little unique, so you're gonna have to bear with me here, right? It's a label product, and it's like a zebra printer in regular nomenclature that people understand. But so it's a printer that puts the labels on the box, right? That gets delivered to your house. And what's unique about this, it is the only product in the world that will print on both sides of a label, right? Which is unique because if you're on a box, usually it's the backside stuck to the box, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a linerless printer, so it doesn't have the liner that gets peeled off at the warehouse when they're putting the label on the box. So it checks excuse the pun, but a lot of boxes. In other words, it checks the fact that it cuts the cost of putting labels on. It cuts the amount of time it takes to put a label on a box with a bill of lading inside the box or promo materials inside the box. It does that all at one time. So we have calculated the savings, and it's about a 46% savings for the entity, the warehouse logistics company that is putting the label on that box, which is a huge savings. The other part is because the linerless piece of a label, the liner on a label, it's not the most environmentally friendly.
Right. You're not throwing out, you're cutting the waste considerably.
100% correct. Right.
Yeah.
So it's like saying it's checking a lot of boxes. It truly is. So it's cutting costs, better environmentally. So we're really excited about this. We are putting our first product. We've done production on a product. We're putting our first product into a retail environment the second week of December. We're going to do some testing. The interesting thing about this is this could be a product. Again, it's not your traditional MFP product, but it's a product that a dealer may want to investigate selling because it's a higher price than any normal printer. It's about a $10,000 sell, which is great, which nice margins. But more importantly is the aftermarket side of it is extremely lucrative, and that's where a dealer can make some money. And it's the other part of it is it's a captive aftermarket. So on most labels, you can buy a label anywhere. Because this is a proprietary label, we have a captive audience on that. So then, ergo, the dealer would have a captive audience. So we're not ready to launch this to a dealer community yet. We're not 100% sure we want to, because we want to make sure it does work and the value proposition is validated. But once we've done that, if you see that product at the lead event, then we'll, maybe something you want to investigate, because we're very excited about it here.
Well, I could see that. I mean, just the key to me is the ex salesperson to me just looks at that one thing that you said, which is, it's all you have to do is literally walk in and show them a new way to do something they're already doing that's faster, cheaper, easier, right? Cheaper. At the end of the day, when you're speeding things up, when you're cutting all the garbage that you need to get rid of, all the trash, right? When you're just speeding up their ability to get these labels through, and you're saving them money, right? It's like every now and then our industry finds some little niche where it's just, holy cow, look at the amount we can save them. And sometimes you see that a lot in wide format, right? Where every 3 or 4 years they come out with these wide format printers that are fast, considerably faster than the old ones. And we hit that a few years ago where it was just, jobs that used to take an hour or more were being done in like minutes, right? And then all of a sudden, the customer doesn't care how much it costs at that point. They're able to get 20, 30 jobs done a day when they used to get 3 done, right? So you just do the math on that. And so that sounds very, very sellable. So you're considering the dealer channel for this. I know that those types of products, they typically go through your retail channel. Toshiba is very strong. If I'm remembering correctly, you've got quite a retail program. Some of the past events you've done combinations where we've seen both sides, and you do have some pretty cool technology that you bought. What did you buy in the past? You bought was it IBM's program? You bought somebody's label programs years ago, I think.
Oh, that's okay. So that was on the POS side. So
yes,
yeah, the checkout stands, think the cash registers. That's old technology nomenclature, but it's obviously.
So you've got a history in this, though.
Absolutely we do. So, and by the way, if you take a look at, the print industry is scheduled to decline 2-3% per year, right? On the other side of it, the logistics industry, that is exploding. That you have double-digit growth in that industry. So again, it's a product that fits into it's a nice product, a niche product that nobody else has, an industry that's growing. So that's opportunity.
That is huge opportunity, especially when nobody else has it, like you said.
Yeah, and listen to your spiel. You've got it down, by the way. So if you want a secondary job, I've got a couple territories open that you'd fit it really well into.
Yeah. I think I could do that. I don't think the TBS location is not too far from here. That's where our marketing coordinator Jake started his glorious career here. Thank you very much for helping out with that. So I might have to consider that I'll take a look at it at the dealer meeting, and we'll talk then.
You know what? You're doing a great job in what you do. So that's
Well, thank you. Thank you. I enjoyed doing it. It was great catching up with you. I wish you guys were a little bit closer. I know at this point you probably won't be getting out to that TBS branch for a while. We just had that big 6 foot storm down the street from us a little bit, about 60 miles down the thruway. So hopefully you don't have to come out here until it warms up, maybe a couple more months. So we're just starting to get into it now. But happy holidays. Have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us today. And any last shout outs to anybody, any last messages?
so, Andy, I just want to thank you and to you also. I hope you have a great holidays. You know, Thanksgiving is right around the corner, and before you know it, you know, the Christmas holidays
Yep.
will be here too. So,
My wife decorated. We got the Hanukkah. We got the
I
Christmas
know
tree
you've
up,
got it all. You've got it all covered.
covering all the bases. So we've got a little Hanukkah gnome up there. My wife and my mom went shopping the other day, and my office looks fantastic. What could I say?
It does look great. I was about to say, you know, your office is like a piano black on our MFP, so they look awesome.
Yeah, I do love the way they look. That is one thing I will give you a lot of credit for that. I don't think some of the companies out there could put a little more effort into to the way the devices look. It's nothing wrong with having copiers and printers that look cool. I know we don't think the industry is that cool, but you can make them look cool, and you guys are you're doing that. And I don't know if it actually leads to more sales. I imagine here and there you get a sale just because all else being equal, the customer like the way it looks. People sometimes buy for I mean, if everything's equal, what would you buy? You'd buy the one you like the best, right?
Exactly right.
So,
Exactly.
I mean, they all mean the same to me if I'm the customer. Sharp and Toshiba and Konica and Canon and they're all brands that they all sound the same to the end user. And if everything's equal, who knows, right? So, but they do look great. I'm excited to see them. I can't imagine how hard you guys have been working to launch a whole refresh all at once like this. That's always fun. So, anyway, thanks again, Larry. This was great, and we will catch up soon. We'll talk to you around the corner. Have a good holiday.
Happy holidays to you and your family.
You too. Bye bye.